Hello, listeners. Welcome to Wurkun TV, the traditional television of the Wurkun culture. My name Maksum Manu. Here to present a topic: cultural preservation, or how to preserve a culture. In our settings, we come to understand that most of the things happening in our environment is because we neglected our culture. We stay away from what we supposed to be our norms. What is culture, if I may ask? Culture is a systemic learned and shared belief, language, norms, values, and symbols that groups use to identify themselves and provide a framework within which to work with. When in your culture, that is what is being transferred from one generation to another, and is something that is a belief of those people and is their total way of life. And why is culture important, and why is preserving culture very important? We say the importance of culture is it provides the sense of identity and belonging. It transmits knowledge and value across generations, promotes social cohesion, and shape behaviors and daily routine. It provides a framework for understanding the world, connecting with others, and establishing norms and expectations for social interaction. This is to say, when we have our own culture and we maintain the culture, to interact with other nations or other tribe, as I may say, is very very reasonable because everybody knows from where he came from. And the second thing there is cultural preservation. That is the most important thing that we want to talk about. Why must we preserve our culture? We come to understand that we are in a generation whereby many things are happening. Children are being born, they don't even know where they come from, they don't even know their background, they don't even know anything about their own tribe. Some of them only bear names, some of them do not even bear the names of the tribes. Some of them are even born outside several kilometers away from their own land. That makes it very difficult for them to even understand what and where they come from. So cultural preservation becomes very important because preservation also refers to heritage conservation, which it keep us for the benefit of the younger generation. In preserving culture is it can be tangible or untangible. What we are talking about here is that when we talk about tangible, something that you see it physically, that is touchable, some things like monuments or some buildings or some structure that has been raised, so that anybody that saw you will say, this is a symbol of so culture. And what we say is untangible is in the sense that because those ones, they are the ones that are being passed verbally or in the practical aspect. I mean by the language or the dressing, the way of cooking and things like that. So these are the ways that when our people have been practicing it, culture will be preserved to the other generations. And the most important thing there, we say culture, the preserving the culture, the benefit of it is that is transparent. It can be transferred, will be transmitted from one generation to another. That makes it that will maintain the norms even for many generations to come. And in preserving the culture, we have to look at the ways in which we are going to preserve the culture. We say our culture will be preserved in so many ways, but we have one or two things here that we want to talk about. One, through educating. When a child is born, it depends on no matter where he was born from or whatever location or whatever nation he was been born in. The most important thing there, if his culture will be taught to him, he will maintain his culture. Maybe through storytelling, to tell the child the stories of his people, how his people used to dress, the kind of food the people eat. Now you inculcate the person, you told him something about the background where his parent or grandparent came from, despite the fact he is born away or far away from where his land is. And we say festival and ceremonies. We have a lot of festivals in Wurkun TV, in Wurkun culture. that is expected to be practiced in every ceremonial time, maybe during all our festivals, to show that the next generation, I mean the upcoming generation, should know that there is something like this that people have been doing even before they come. And we talk about heritage and protection. Some of those things that our forefathers used, even if we are not going to practice it as the way they do it, but we are expected to keep them as a symbol that we give the next generation knowledge about what has been transpiring before they came. And we talk about the language itself. This is where the most important thing is. No matter where you have been born, your language will differentiate you from the other person. That is the first identity that you are going to know that this is exactly where you come from. So when we maintain language speaking, even if we are in diaspora, even if we are several kilometers away from where we are being born, that will keep us the identity anywhere we go. Because the moment you speak the language, any person that hears, which language is this one, that means now you have an identity in that particular place where you find yourself. And we say it, the next thing we want to talk about is the negligence we are seeing now, even in preserving the cultures. We are not educating the next generation. Even the festival, we are not even performing them. The heritage protection, we are not even protecting them. Some of the traditional things that our forefathers use, they have been abandoned, fire burned. Some of them have been carried away several kilometers away from even where we can find them. And even the language, most of our parents are even happy seeing us speaking other languages, unlike the other nations, whereby the first language that any person will learn after giving birth is his own mother tongue. That is the language that the parent were born in and his own original language. So, in this, we say cultural negligence. When we're talking about the cultural negligence, we stay away from the real thing that we're supposed to learn. We borrowed so many language cultures from different places, various places, and it will interest you to know there is a research that is not actually verified, but they said out of 10 Wukun youth, 3% of them they can hear and speak the language. 3% of them they can hear, but they cannot speak the language. The other 4% of them, they cannot even hear, nor even speak the language. That to tell you, in next generations to come, those people will have no identity. They don't even have the heritage. They don't have any symbol that will symbolize that these people come from Wurkum. They don't even know, they don't even bear Wurkum name. They don't even know how to speak the language. And they are far away even from the land where they're supposed to be identified as Ruku. Automatically, this one told you that the last generation of them that are there, the first one, will quickly vanish away because nothing to preserve in that. And in almost conclusion, the issue of religion is becoming also a problem to the culture, because some of us that believe in one religion or the other, we thought maybe maintaining our culture is going to be in conflict with the religion and the belief we have. When I start an example, maybe with let me start an example even with the cultures, the cultural festivals that we are having. All those festivals were being made, and our forefathers have been doing it. And how they are doing it, that they say they are worshiping God through their ancestors. They take an animal and things like that to the shrine, sacrifice them, burn them, or throw them on the ground to the ancestors. Now we have a belief, and we thought this is the right way even to serve God. The culture can be maintained even through that. We can go to our places of worship, maybe a festival of a new harvest, whereby everybody will harvest what he has planted for the year. We bring it in our places of worship. We thank God through the way we think that is the good way to serve God with. That will maintain the culture. The next generation, when they are coming, they will see the practices, say, this is what our forefathers are doing in the shrine. But now we are no more doing it in the shrine, but we are doing it in our places of worship. So I think with this, Wukun culture will be maintained, and the next generation people will grow up with the culture and they will still maintain the culture and give it out to their own children when they are coming up. But when we go with this negligence, that we are thinking that there is a conflicting something between the religion and the culture, we will come to a point that whereby people will live without identity. They are just born, and anywhere they are born, it will interest you to know. Even in the Wurkun land, you will find out there are some people now that they are born even right there in the land, but they don't speak the language. Their mode of communication, they communicate with other languages that become familiar and daily routine, that the language is dissipating gradually among them. So with this, we want to encourage each and any person that if you know where you come from and you know what is good for you, no matter where you are, whether you are in the country here in Nigeria, whether you are in Taraba State, where you are in diaspora, maintain your culture. And that is what will give you identity wherever you are. It's never a sin nor a problem. So thank you very much for watching.